Yeah, guys, welcome to another video on the channel. Today, I'll be ranking a handful of Tassie football grounds and all of that. Now, I've just chucked in some of the league grounds, so I haven't chucked them all. So I've only got the TSL, which for those of you who don't know, is pretty much the biggest league for football in Tassie. I've obviously got the two AFL stadiums. I've got the NWFL grounds, which is the league I play in, which is quite a big league in Tassie. And I've chucked in some of the STJFL grounds in there, which is another sort of big lead down Hobart. Yes, the JFL has many teams, and I haven't chucked all of the grounds in it. Otherwise, we'll be here for ages, and if I put all the grounds from every league in here, we'll be here for ages. So let's just get straight to it. Now, before we continue, we'll quickly read out the things. So we have one of the best, which is the top. So we can have multiple stadiums up there because I feel like I'm going to have a few up there. Got pretty good, alright, not a fan, and then one of the worst where you can have multiple there. And then in the last category, we have don't know much about it. So either I haven't been there or I have, but I don't know too much about it or I can't quite remember so many things about it. So without any further ado, let's just get into it. So to start things off, we'll start with the AFL ground since most users in the AFL community will know about these two stadiums or ovals. We have Utah Stadium and Blundstone Arena. Now, I have two opinions about this ground. For the AFL season, Utah's is a better stadium. For the cricket season, Blundstone is a better stadium. And here we are ranking the footy stadiums. So I feel like Utah's is a better stadium than Blundstone. Looks, probably Blundstone has a better look, and Blundstone I think has more capacity, but Utah's probably has a better design and more suitable for the AFL. The food's quite decent. I think the prices are alright. I think Utah's is a better stadium, but because they're both in the AFL, I think I'm gonna have to put them in pretty good because anything below that is probably a bit harsh. So I'll put Utah's above Blundstone though because I do think that's better. But yeah, anything below that I think it's pretty harsh. Maybe alright, could be a decent spot for them, but I'll put them in pretty good for now because they are the two AFL stadiums. Utah's is also the home of Hawthorn Hawks, and Blundstone's also a home of North Melbourne Kangaroos, for those of you who don't know. Now, we're kicking with the TSL grounds now. Pretty much the biggest league in Tassie. We've already ranked two of them. We have Utah Stadium, which is the home of the team I go for in the TSL, which is the Northern Launceston Bombers. And Blundstone is the home of the Clarence Roos and the Lauderdale Bombers. Sometimes Lauderdale do have another ground we will be mentioned later in this video. We'll start with North Hobart Oval. This is going to be a bit of a weird ranking, but I'll put it in the spot first and then I'll tell you why. North Hobart is going in one of the best. I know you're probably thinking, what the hell are you doing? But if I'm honest, North Hobart is literally the home of the football to Tasmania. It's where a lot of grand finals are played. The STJFL plays their grand finals there. The TSL did last year. The home of the football to Tassie. It's actually a pretty good stadium. It holds a decent amount of capacity, like 10k or something like that. It's not a bad stadium, and it still has some of the old grandstands, which is keeping some of its history, which I think is an amazing thing to do with when it comes to footy overs and all that, is keeping the history. So that's why I put North Hobart Oval in one of the best. You can hate me for that, but that's what I'm doing. Also the home of the North Hobart Demons, if you didn't know. Next up, we have KGV Oval or Stadium. I don't know what this is, I'm just going to call it Oval, but it's KGV. Home to the Glenorchy Pies in the TSL, and I also think in the STJFL. This ground can hold up to 18k, I think, which is a bit of a weird thing because Glenorchy, they are not good. They're quite a shocking team, but they have an awesome stadium or oval. Now, I reckon a lot of you probably know some of these grounds if you have watched my What If Gather Round came to Tassie. So yeah, back in track though. KGV doesn't have the best team play there, but it is a pretty good ground. I'm not sure if it can go on one of the best, but it could honestly be an AFL standard ground. It holds 18k. The facilities are quite new, I think. So it's pretty good. I I don't think it can go higher than the AFL grounds though, because it's the AFL. However, I do want to put it above. I put it at the bottom of pretty good for now. At the end of this, I may rearrange them. Next up is Windsor Park. I think that's what it's called. Home to the Launceston Blues in the TSL. If I'm honest, this is probably one of the worst TSL grounds there. It's more of a country or local football ground. There's I don't even think there's grandstands there. It's where you just go, sit in your car, or sit on the seats around the oval and just watch your team play, which is pretty much just a country or local ground. So it's probably one of the worst. However, I don't think, because it is part of the TSL, I don't think I can put it in one of the worst. So I'm going to put it in not a fan, because it's definitely probably not standard for a TSL ground. Next up is Skybus Oval. I think that's what it's called. I think it's called Oval, not Stadium. But yes, Skybus, home to the Lauderdale Bombers. This is not bad, to be honest. I'm not that big of a fan, but it's not bad. Judging off by the looks. I haven't actually been here though, so I don't know much about it. So I'm putting it down there, but judging by its looks, I think it can be an actually good stadium. I'm going to Hobart, I think, later on this year. So, and I think I'm going to some of these ovals or grounds and all that in Hobart. So maybe in a few months' time, I'll be able to remake this video. But yeah, don't know too much about Skybus, so we'll go with Twins Oval, home to the Kimber Tigers. This oval is actually quite good. A lot of people say they don't like it, and they have another ground, but it's not pretty. It's not similar to this one. I think they're quite different. But Twins Oval, I'm putting in alright. I think I'm going to this ground when I go to Hobart, and it's not a bad ground to be honest. I have been there before, but I think it could have some room for improvement. I don't know if it has heaps of capacity. Like I said, I don't know too much about it. I've just played there. I haven't done so much research, so I'm putting in alright. Now kicking into the league, I play in the NWFL. We'll start off with my home ground, the team I play for, the Devonport Magpies. This is going to be a bit hard because it's the team I play for. I really want to put it in one of the best. It's played an AFL game there between Richmond and Hawks. It's held the NWFL versus NTJFA, the rep game. It's held so many things. I think in the 90s it used to um, hold some AFL games or that. Overall, it holds good capacity. It holds like 10k or something. It's not a bad oval. However, in the middle, when it's been raining, the middle just gets so muddy and it's probably one of the worst things to play on. But I'm going to put it in pretty good. I think KJV is better because of the new facilities and all that. The grandstands are still a bit old, but we've got a new, like a decent modern scoreboard and the change rooms are more newer type facilities. So I'm putting in pretty good. Next up, have the Alverson Football Ground, home to the Alverson Robins. Pretty much just said there. This ground, I'm actually not a fan of it. I play, as you can see, I do play for Alvey Basketball Club, but I don't play for Alvey Football. And the ground, it's not really that good to be honest. And when you're trying to kick out the goal square, there's like sand halfway at the line where it has that little rectangle thing at the top there. There's like just sand just sitting there. The scoreboard's quite crap to be honest, just some cheap digital one, it looks like. So I'm not a fan of it. It can be alright to play there. I have played some like Devils games for those who don't know, which is like this main big team in Tassie. I've played some of them when I played some other loads there, and it wasn't that good. Yeah, so I'm putting in not a fan. I think it's better than Windsor though. Next up is a newer type ground, the Penguin Football Club, home to the Penguin Two Blues. Yes, we have a town called Penguin, so we use them. But yes, it is quite a modern new ground. It only came out a few years ago after they moved to this ground, and it's it's a pretty good stadium or oval. It's sort of standard to AFL. I think it's better than Denver because it's newer. Everything about it's quite new. I don't know how much it can hold, but it did hold some of the NWFL grand finals. I think just the juniors, to be honest, but quite new ground, so there's nothing that can go wrong with it. It's a beautiful ground, in my opinion. Next up, we have my former team here, the Latrobe Recreation Ground, or football ground, which is home to the Latrobe Demons, a team I hate. Um, However, it does hold the like I think Colts, but I know it holds the reserves and seniors. Not sure about women's, but holds the major NWFL Grand Finals. So because of that, I'm gonna put it in alright. I don't know if it's better than Twins Oval because I'm going Twins Oval again. So I'm gonna probably reshuffle. I'll put it above Twins Oval for now because it does hold Grand Finals and all that. Capacity is quite good, I think. Yeah, there's not really too much to say about this ground to be honest, but it's not a bad ground, so I'll put it in alright. Next up is the Wynyard. I think it's recreation ground. If not, I'll just call it football. Home to the Wynyard Cats. This is their ground. I did kick a goal to put us in front by one in the dying seconds. To be honest, I'm actually not a fan of this. It's like in the middle of nowhere, I swear. And the ground isn't, to be honest, that good of a ground. Sometimes it can be alright there, but I'm not a fan. I'm gonna put it in the bottom of not a fan. In my opinion, I think Windsor Park is better than Wynyard's football oval. Not too much to say, but I'm not a fan of it. And coming to the final two NWFL ones, we have the East Denport football oval. I'm not saying that actual name. I'll probably get it wrong. I know it starts with G though. This is, I think it's actually as big as the MCG. Obviously, the capacity isn't holding 100k. Like, we're not having a Tassie stadium or over holding 100k. But the ground size, I think, is MCG size. So, because of that, I will put it in pretty good. However, though, I have played when it was wet there, and when it is wet and muddy and rainy, it is probably one of the worst grounds there. Scoreboard, not the best. They've only pretty much got one big grandstand that can probably hold like 50 people. So I'm gonna put it in alright. Actually, cause no, I'll put it in not a fan. I think it's better than Windsor. Because if I have Alston, I think Alston's better than that one. Now we have the Burnie Football Oval West Park, home to the Burnie Dockers. Oh yeah, East End Football Oval is home to the East End Swans. Burnie Football Oval or West Park, home to the Burnie Dockers. This is probably one of the worst grounds out there. It's on a hill. That's pretty much all I've got to say about it. It's on a hill, so one way you're going trying to go up, trying to kick a goal, and next quarter you're trying to go downhill, trying to kick a goal. Doesn't look like it's on a hill, but if you can feel it when you're on the ground. Capacity wise, it's quite good, I guess. It's sort of new facility type, but yeah, I'm not. It's not. I'm not a big fan of it. It's probably one of the worst since it's on a hill. Now we have the STJFL grounds. I did say I didn't add every STJFL ground, as we'll be here for ages. I also have gone through some here, such as North Hobart is the home of the North Hobart Demons, as well to the STJFL. KGV is home to the Glenorchy Pies. Twins Over is home to the Kimbra Tigers. Um, Skybus is home to the Lauderdale Bombers. So all them teams I just said there, just then were also in the STJFL. Now we have Abbotsfield, I think that's what it's called. It's home to the Claremont Magpies for the men's and seniors and the Claremont Bulldogs for the juniors. I actually really like the Claremont Football Club. I may even go play for them if I move down to Hobart and all that. So I'm putting in pretty good. I, I love this. I don't mind this club to be honest. Claremont also do have another ground, but I couldn't find a picture of it, so I just got this one, which I think is also their main ground. So as long as I got one of them, but yeah, I like this club a bit. The ground, I think it's alright though. I think especially when they play nighttime games there, I think they do, so it's quite good when it's night. It's not better than Devonport, I don't think. So I put it in pretty good. That is a bit harsh when you look at Latrobe and Twins are down in aura, but in my opinion, just because it's Claremont, it's going up in pretty good. And the final ground of this video is, I don't know the exact name, but it is home to the Brighton Robins, the Brighton's football ground. And I'm putting in don't know much about it because I haven't been here. I think I'm going there when I go to Hobart, but yeah, I haven't been here, so I don't have any review to say. I only know whose home ground it is, and it's also part of the STJFL. So, that, do I want to move anything? North Hobart, one of the best, yeah. I'm not sure if I want to move any. Don't know what they're saying. I reckon Windsor has to go to one of the worst because it out of the whole TSL is probably one of the worst TSL grounds out there. I reckon Twins over and the try can stay there. I have to bump Utah's and Blunts. Utah's and KGV. I reckon they can go to one of the best because KGV 18k and new facilities, so I reckon they can go up there. In my opinion, it's probably better than. Yeah, it's probably. Nah, I believe Utah's above it. No, I reckon Utah needs to go back down. Well, there I have it. North Hobart and KGV one of the best, and Utah's Blundstone, then Penguin, Devonport, Abbotsfield, I think that's what it's called. Latrobe, Twins Oval, Alvey, East Dev, Wynyard, Burnie, Windsor, and then the grounds I haven't been to, Skybus and Brighton's Football Oval. Well, I think that's a pretty fair or decent ranking. Obviously, I didn't add every league in rounds in this, as we'll be here for ages, and I didn't add all the STJFL rounds as well because we'll be here for ages. I just added the main leagues in Tassie, which is obviously the RFL stadiums, and the TSL, the NWFL, and the STJFL. Yeah, I think they're pretty good rankings. If you did go ahead and enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And if you want to see me rank something that you want me to do, then just leave it in the comments, and I'll see you next time.